Hi, it's Greg Burdine, pastor of Faith Baptist Church in Adrian, Michigan, with a Bible verse for you to consider on this Saturday, the first weekend in March. And hopefully that you're having a good day. We get to spend a day with our grandkids, so that's going to be a fun day. That's always a fun day to spend time with them and do some stuff. They're going to wear us out, I'm sure, but it's going to be a good day. What do you got planned for the day? I've got a Bible verse for you to think about. I'm looking at some Bible verses that will remind us about the Easter story, the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. That's the last day of March. And so I'm going to remind you about some verses throughout this month, and it's going to be good to reminisce and remind ourselves why Jesus came. So that's going to be good. Well, here's the Bible verse that I have for you. And by the way, if you want to leave a prayer request or a comment, please go ahead, right ahead. Join us in church tomorrow. We're going to have our chili pie contest after the morning service, and then I'm in the book of Nehemiah looking at the prayer. So here's the Bible verse. It's in Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 2. Christ loved us and gave himself up for us, a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. It talks about the death of Jesus when he gave himself up for us. He sacrificed. He went to the cross. And several times we're reminded that it wasn't his will, it was God's will. And this is what it says about it. I think it's kind of interesting. It's a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. I know we often think about that Jesus went to the cross for us. But actually, if you really want to boil down to it, the big reason why Jesus did anything is that's what his Father wanted him to do. He was completely obedient to his Father. He said that several times. I do nothing of myself. I only do what my Father wants me to do. And even if you remember in the Garden of Gethsemane, not my will, thy will be done. He did exactly what his Father told him to do. And God's plan for Jesus was to die on a cross. Now, I know he's God himself, and he's perfect, and he always obeys him. But I think that's a great thing for us to remind ourselves is we are more like Jesus when we obey our Father, even when it's something that we would rather not do. There you go. Jesus said, I don't want this cup, but not my will, your will be done. But he pleased the Father, and it was a fragrant offering. It's almost like when you go in your house and somebody's been cooking an apple pie. The other day, Judy made some cookies. Oh, I am not kidding. You walk in the door and you go, oh, that smells so good. Well, what pleases God the Father is when his children obey him, when his Son obeys him. And I think it's important for us to reflect that in our life. It's easy to obey God when it's something that we want to do. But what if it's something that we'd rather not do? What if it's something that might be uncomfortable? And there are some things that we'd rather not do. There's some things that we'd rather do, and they're not in his will. So we need to make sure that we follow him because that pleases him. Jesus always pleases Father, and we need to try to always please our Father. That's what Easter is all. Had Jesus not done it, we'd be lost. And I think it's important for us to realize that God has a plan for us and follow that. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy your weekend, and hopefully I'll be able to see you tomorrow.